Hello, Leo. It is time for your September reading. We're starting out as usual with an oracle card to see what your primary energy or theme is for the month of September. And you have time machine. The first word that came to my head was reminiscing. So going back in time, picking up on patterns or some event that happened in the past that maybe you want to repeat or celebrate here in September. So you may be looking for information. This could even have to do like with a family tradition, maybe a lost family tradition, but it's something that you're interested in picking up again. Maybe you are going through some genealogy or old family records or something. And that's how you discovered that this used to be maybe an annual event or something that would happen at the old family homestead, or just some tradition that had been carried on for decades before it was lost or before the family kind of drifted apart. And you want to restart that tradition for your family. So that's a strong thing to have. But there is a pattern, something that was good, and something that you would like to bring forward again to resume. So let's see what your tarot cards have to say. And we're working with the transparent tarot at the instruction of my guides. So far, though, it's been going well, although they're rather slippery. Okay, here we go. So we have the Five of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Lovers, and the Ten of Wands. This may be like the ending to some an old family argument, or you may use this as an opportunity to bring parts of the family back together again that maybe have been parted for a long time over some argument that everybody has forgotten. Nobody knows why things disintegrated. And maybe you're the one who's trying to bring everybody back together, maybe having some sort of reunion or something where we start over again, start fresh, start new. Some of this could have to do with a younger person who maybe they're the ones who initially discovered this, or maybe they're just asking a lot of questions. Well, why do we never see them? Did you ever hang out with your cousins when you were younger? Why don't we know that side of the family? And you've been doing more research and looking into it because you don't know. You don't know what happened. You remember always going over to visit. You remember family holidays, but you don't know what happened to cause a rift in the family or for that to stop. So you may be doing some investigation into that. This could even have to do for some of you with work, bringing back an old product or something from the past that worked, but due to modernization, they canceled it or they've tried doing different things, but it's never really quite worked right. So there's like tried and true method or something like that that you want to bring back and reintroduced into the process or into the fold. This could also be a specific product too, but it feels more process related or maybe having to do with retention in some way too. Okay, let's get into the individual cards and see what messages they bring out. We're starting off here with the Five of Swords. This is indicating some sort of argument, some sort of conflict. Swords are an air element, so it's going to be about communication, words, or information. Maybe somebody was misleading willfully. Maybe somebody was hiding something or not sharing information, would be another way to put that. There's also the aspect of this card of wanting to win at all costs, regardless of who gets help. I'm sorry, gets hurt in the process. You just want to be right. Or you want people to acknowledge that you're right, even if you are in fact wrong. And if it's deemed that you're wrong, then you're that one who kind of takes your ball and goes home. But it's a case where nobody wins if one person has to be right, regardless of which side it is. There has to be compromise here. There has to be understanding and respect for both sides of the argument. Leaning into this a little more to see if it feels like there's something else there. This also feels like it could be regrets about words said in the past. but not being able to go back or not being able to retract them or apologize for them. Maybe because if this does have to do with family history, maybe the people where that rift occurred are no longer around or nobody's in contact with them in any way. So there is no way to do that reconnection. And that's the risk and the danger we have is losing that part of our lineage, of our family, of our history. If we're going to cut people off for things that really aren't, in the grand scheme of things, true issues. Differences of opinion are just that, differences of opinion. As human beings, we will not agree with everybody on everything. That's just not the way we are. Because we grow, we evolve, we learn things. Some people hear information, other people don't hear that information. And some people just feel strongly in their beliefs, and so does the other side. Neither side is wrong. They each have their own standards, their own things. They just need respect in there. I think that's the key thing, bringing respect back into the family or into this issue. And maybe it was something, if it has to do with the work, maybe it was something that was benefiting more frontline workers, but it was deemed unnecessary or inappropriate in some way, or for some reason they took it away. And at part of doing that, they lost an opportunity for deeper connections with those employees. So now maybe turnover has picked up because there's no commitment there on because the employees don't feel like the employer is committed to them. So why should they commit to the employer? Feelings of resentment building up over time. Interesting. Okay. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So Pentacles are an earth element. It's very grounding. It's also kind of a lower energy vibe, kind of relaxed, taking their time, no rushing. Even though on here we can see that she's running, or at least moving quickly. Pages are young. It's young energy. It's fresh energy, which is why we see a young lady on this card. It is, it's a fresh idea, a fresh perspective. Fresh perspective really feels right for this situation here. You may have been spending a lot of time contemplating this thing recently. And this is the month where you may approach the subject or um, put out the proposal out there. But this is somebody who's curious, who wants to give it a try, who wants to give it a shot. If it fails, but it's worth giving it a shot. You should always try. If that doesn't work, then you'll try something else. But we shouldn't just give up. We shouldn't just stop trying kind of energy. Somebody has to put in the effort. And it feels like you might be that person. You're willing to take the chance. Because this is something you want to solve. You want to bring that feeling of community back into your family, your workplace, wherever this is for you. You want that connection. The human connection for you is very important in this case. So you're the one with the hope or the desire to change, to try, to give it a shot. And then we have the 8 of Wands. Now it feels like maybe they do go for this, but they might put you on a short deadline or a short time frame, which really doesn't help the situation at all, honestly. But this is what they're giving you to work with. And you're going to have to act quickly, move quickly, make decisions quickly, try to get things booked up quickly, come up with the possibilities, the different things. How are we going to do this? How are we going to get everybody together in such short notice? How are we going to seize this opportunity to benefit all sides? So this is you acting on that. And it's going to be a busy time. It's going to feel hectic. Pay attention. Double and triple check your emails for responses. Check your junk folders, spam folders, whatever. And make sure you are getting all the information and all the replies. Maybe add a read receipt if you are sending emails, but you want to make sure that the information, the communication is very clear and is getting to everyone as part of this. So don't lose that amidst all the other activity going on. For some reason, the communication of what's going on is going to be very important here. Making sure everybody is aware of what's going on. Transparency. Ha ha ha. And then we have the Lovers card. This is a major arcana card. And yes, it can be about literal lovers, but it is ultimately about commitment. How committed are you to this? How passionate are you about this, for this? It feels like this is something you're really committed to. This is something you believe in. You want to bring these people together, these groups together. It's very important to you for the long-term happiness of everyone involved, for the long-term sustainability of these connections, of the to perpetuate the motion and can keep things going smoothly. And it benefits everybody. So this is something you're strongly committed to. Your challenge is going to be convincing or getting buy-in from both sides. That's where your biggest challenge is. You want to bring peace in, the yin yang. You want things balanced. Balance is key too here. You want your family, your children to know about your ancestors, your family's history, even the negative stuff. It's part of the lore of your family, of your line. And it's important to you that they know, especially since questions are coming up. The curiosity is there to know. And even in a work environment, part of the lore of the company are those things. They need to know what failed what worked in the past, what didn't work in the past, so they don't repeat the same mistakes. And maybe they reinvest in or return to the things that did work to the benefit of everybody there. So this is all about your commitment and your desire to unify. Unify is the key word. And then we have the Ten of Swords. This is all about closure, endings, um, a definitive ending. So this can be a very negative card, but I think okay, this is what's pulling through. Once everybody is aware of what's going on, once the message is fully communicated and understands, once everybody has had an opportunity to take advantage of this potential, of this reunification, whatever this is, whether or not they choose to participate or not, this feels like maybe this is your last ditch effort. And once this is done, if they choose not to go with this, you're done. Because this isn't something you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be stuck in the same place, which is kind of what this feels like, repeating the same patterns, doing the same thing over and over again, and expecting different results. What's that the definition of? If these groups, this situation cannot evolve, cannot change, if people are not willing to make the effort, ultimately, not willing to work with you to make the effort, then you're going to move on to some place, some people, something, some situation where people are willing to put in the effort, where people are willing to change, to evolve. Because that's where you're at. You are evolving, you are growing, and you want more out of life. And it feels like for you, for a lot of you, the human connection is very important. And that's what you're seeking here. So essentially, this situation here that you're trying to help with and resolve and get settled so that we don't keep repeating history. You just have these 30 days to get that done, or that's your limit. That is your limit. This is it. This is the last chance kind of feeling. Let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck for you. We have, I can turn this card the right way. Transparency. The Hermit card. We put it on the time machine. This is something you have been thinking about for a long time. That's part of the time machine, I guess. The Hermit card is about going within and really feeling into, really doing some inner work and deciding what it is you want to do. Where are you being led? When you're looking out at the future, where is your light shining the brightest? What is your new target? What is it that you want to commit to? And it feels like it's not about the company. It's not really necessarily even about the family. It's about the people. It is about those connections. That's where your focus is at this time, and that's what you want to reinvigorate. seeing people in person, going to events, getting to know each other on a personal level, face to face. I think that feels like a lot like what this is for you. And if this situation, if your current situation cannot evolve with you in that way, then you will go seeking it elsewhere. You will form new connections. You will have chosen family. You will bring more people into your life to fill that void, which isn't really a void for you. You want enriching relationships. You want enriching connections, meaningful and beneficial to everybody involved. And that's what I have for you. Now let's do this for these cards. One of the things in the book they show is this film strip like layout, which may give us even more information, maybe around timing. And I'm trying not to be super perfect because I'll drive myself crazy if I keep trying. There we go. Best one yet. So we can see here, this may not come up right away at the beginning of the month, but within the first week, this situation is going to come up. Some knowledge or recognition of this split, this chasm, this difference that has been out there, and separating things and splitting things apart. And then you have a desire to dig into that, find out why did that happen, what's going on, and how can we resolve this, coming up with fresh ideas. Looking back in the past, well, maybe we can, what was working then, and can we bring that forward now and try it again, the things that were working. Putting your proposal out there, pitching it. And then having to act quickly because they're receptive on one particular side, but they're also doubtful and they're expecting you to fail. They're expecting it to fail. But you're going to put your best effort in because that's what you've committed to for yourself. So you are going to act swiftly. You are going to make this happen. You are going to get it done. You are going to make sure everybody is informed. You're going to spread the word because this is something you strongly believe in and you think it will benefit everybody if everybody just gives it a chance. And that's where your commitment to this is. You have a very strong commitment to this, something you believe in, something that you will, with that fiery energy, succeed at getting this done in spite of the obstacles. Because that's where your commitment is. Now, once you get this done and it's happening, there's this space here where you're waiting to see what the results are. What was the outcome? How did everybody feel? Did everybody like it, not like it? What's the next thing? Because you're expecting now follow-up. So you're going to have a little bit of space here for follow-up. And the feedback may not be so great, at least on one side, because they're not willing to budge. They're not really willing to change. They're not willing to keep something going and keep trying to make a difference, to make things better. And this is where you're like, fine, okay. If you guys are not willing to evolve, then I will be moving on because I need more for my life. I expect more. And you will go seeking it and succeed elsewhere. And that, Leo, is what I have for your September reading. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.